There's a ton of really complicated ways to invest in real estate. I teach this stuff all the time, like the BRRRR strategy and set up a CRM and do all the complicated stuff. And you should learn that stuff eventually. But what if you just wanted to buy a real estate deal? What if you're just getting started, you're new to this thing, and you just gotta get something. You gotta get your foot in the door, get in the game. What are easy ways to buy real estate? Well, my name is Brendan Turner, here with my friend Cam Cathcart.
Cam Cathcart.
What's up, Cam Cathcart? And today we're gonna talk about 3 really easy ways, just like right away, easy. You can just get in the game of real estate by doing these strategies. If this is helpful, by the way, make sure you click that little like button below the video and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to learn how to build wealth through real estate without losing your soul.
Yeah.
Cam.
What's up?
You got into real estate, what, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, it's going on, it'll be 5 years in 3 or 4 months.
And you got a pretty complex system right now. You got
yes.
I mean, you have CRMs and staff and employees and the whole thing.
Yes.
But when you got started, it was probably a little more simple.
Yes.
What was your very first deal?
First deal, we bought a flip house.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a house to flip.
And that's a little more complex, right? Like it takes a little bit of work.
It was. We went 0 to 100 really quick.
Yeah.
We went 0 to 100 really quick, but we bought our first one, and it was just because I knew it's what I wanted to do, and so I dove all in.
Yeah. My very first deal ever was actually one of the strategies we're going to talk about today. Sort of. I didn't actually plan it that way, but it actually kind of worked out. So,
well, actually, what helped me put the down payment, because we used bank financing on our first house, and what helped me put the down payment actually is one of these where I rented a house. It was like rental arbitrage. I rented a house in Denver for $1,200 a month, and then I had a friend who moved out who was a traveling nurse, and we rented a room to him in that house for $800 a month.
There you go.
And then it was a 3-bedroom. We didn't have kids, and we rented another room for $350 a month. So we were paying $50 a month to live there and then saving up money. So
that's like house hacking light. So that brings us to the first strategy today. That's an easy way to get into real estate. It's called house hacking. It's actually the name house hacking comes from a blog post I wrote like 15 years ago where I said how to hack your house and get paid to live for free. There was no name for it. I was just like, this is what I've done a number of times. Why don't we talk about it? It became like this worldwide phenomenon of in the investment world called house hacking. Here's how it works. You have a house, you buy it usually, though I've also done the rental and then rented out the bedrooms, but you buy a house typically, because then you get equity, and then you just you buy a house for 3.5% down. Typically, FHA loans, any bank can do them. Just about 3.5% down. You got to live in the property for at least a year, but then you either rent out the bedrooms if it's a house, or more common, I would say, is you buy a small multifamily, duplex, triplex, fourplex. Now you might be thinking like, well, I don't want to live with a bunch of tenants. Well, first of all, sometimes you got to sacrifice, but 2, you're not just buying a crappy necessary property in like a bad part of town. I'm house hacking here in Hawaii in a $4 million house. So it's doable no matter where you're at on the spectrum of like finances. But by house hacking, it's such a low down payment. It's easy entry. It's like riding a bike with training wheels. You get in for low down and you just rent out the other room or rent out the extra unit. Easy.
I love house hacking. I think house hacking's super great too for people that are like, I don't have money to buy. Like maybe you own a house, but you don't have money to buy a new house. You don't have time to go look for deals or anything like that. And it's like it's that simple. Like just rent out a bedroom.
Or 2. Yeah.
Rent out if you do have a triplex or a duplex, you could rent out the other side, which I'm sure you're doing that already. But especially for people that own their house, like rent out bedrooms. If you're young and don't have any kids or maybe you're married and you don't have any kids and you have a couple bedrooms, like you can cover your mortgage by just doing that. Yeah,
I got a buddy right now. He lives out here in Hawaii. His name's Scott. Shout out to Scott. And Scott is looking to buy his first property. And so he's in my program, First Deal, which is firstdeal.com, where I help people buy their very first property. But he's in this program and he texted me the other day. He's like, hey, here's a house that we're looking at. I don't see how to make this work, but I really like this house. It was $1.3 million. That's a lot for a house. Well, it's just Scott and his wife. So it's just 2 of them. And the house had 5 bedrooms. And it had the potential for adding a 6th bedroom. So I said, well, Scott, how much is a bedroom rent for in Hawaii? And he's like, oh, I rent a bedroom right now. He said, I rent a bedroom right now for like $2,500. I'm like, okay, so you're saying you could rent out $2,500 for that bedroom and that one and that one and that one. And now you got $10,000 a month in income and you guys live in the 5th bedroom. Maybe even there's another bedroom. Now, will that cover the mortgage payment? What's your mortgage payment going to be on that property with your down payment and all that? And it was like $7,000. I'm like, so you'd be cash flowing thousands of dollars a month to house hack that house. He's like, oh shoot, yeah. So like he's looking into buying that house now. That's a strategy. You're house hacking and he can buy that thing for very low down because he's going to live in it. It's easy to manage. And when he moves out someday, you only have to live there for a year. You don't have to refinance at the end. You move out and Yeah, dude, that could
You
really
keep
work
that
for people.
forever.
Yeah.
You get the appreciation. I mean, it's such a great way to start.
Great way to start, easy way to start. Number 2, maybe even an easier way to start. And this doesn't apply to all of you, but it applies to some of you. One of the easiest things you could ever do to start investing in real estate is simply turn your house into a rental when you move instead of selling it. Most people, when they move from one house to another, they just sell it.
Yeah.
But instead, they could rent it. In fact, I just moved from one house to another here in Maui, and I'm going to turn my house into a rental. Yes, I can sell it and make a bunch of money.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Maybe Cam will rent it. I don't know. I'm trying to talk him into it.
I think we just worked out a deal.
We're working on, well, I don't know. We're working on a deal. So I'm going to rent my house out because then I get to keep it as a rental. I didn't have to go out and buy something new. Now, not every house in the world works for that. But if you can run the numbers and find out that you can make cash flow off of turning your existing house into a rental property, how easy is that? You don't even have to buy a property. You just own a rental then.
I've even seen people, and this is for, you, like you said, you have to make sacrifices if you want to get into real estate. What's that whole saying, like, real estate's hard, but so is not having money. Yeah, so is being broke. And so, like, I've had friends that have bought houses with really good interest rates in 2020 and 2021 where they're paying their interest rates at 2.7%. They've lived there. It works as an incredible rental, and they need to save money to go buy another house for them. Where they've moved out and they've moved back in with their parents, or they went and bought or rented a 1-bedroom house for $700 a month, where the cash flow from this is paying for that. So you don't even have to go buy another house. If you really wanted to, you could make a sacrifice and say, "Hey, I'm downsizing into a cheap rental and going to rent this out." Or if you're able to, and your family would let you, like, I'm moving in with friends, or I'm moving in with my parents.
Yeah, totally doable. I like it, man. All right, let's go to number 3. The third strategy is one that you brought up to me as we were brainstorming this thing. Why don't you talk about the STR hack?
The STR hack. So in a lot of states, they've made rules where you can't do Airbnbs anymore.
Like Hawaii, we can. Like almost every major city now, you can't.
Yes, but there's a loophole to that rule in a lot of places where if it is your primary house and you are living there, you can still Airbnb that. And so I've got friends that are renting out rooms in their house and they're Airbnbing them. And yes, that's weird. You have people that are coming into your house that you don't know and you don't trust. You can still look at Airbnb and look at their reviews and stuff like that, but they're making $70-$80 a night on a house at 70% occupancy, so it's an extra $2,500 $3,000 a month, something like that, every single month on houses that their mortgage is only $1,100 on. And so they're able to do that. They're able to save up if they want to invest into other real estate, or they want to save that for themselves. And so I love this strategy for people, and you do have to look at the loopholes or look at the legal,
follow the rules,
follow the rules on it, but I think that's another great strategy for people.
I do too. And especially if you start looking at your house, most people don't realize how much a house can be changed very simply. Let me give you an example. So let's say you have let's say you have a 4-bedroom house. And by the way, this doesn't have to be vacation areas. This could just be anywhere that people happen to go. Like, people are always traveling for weddings, funerals, whatever. So you just have a house, and let's say you got 4 bedrooms in it. And one of those rooms is a little bit larger and has like an ensuite bathroom. Yeah. You could lock the door to the main house, put in an exterior door for $1,000, have a contractor for $1,000 put an exterior door on that bedroom, and now you don't have to ever talk to the person. They come in with the exterior door with a little code. They stay there. They can't get into your house because it's locked, like double-sided lock on both sides, or you even remove the door entirely. So for a couple $1,000, all of a sudden now you have a really nice rentable unit. In fact, the house I just bought here in Hawaii has a room just like that. Already has an exterior door there. I'm not going to do it right now, but I might do it at some point.
So that's one of the people I was talking about. Yeah. He has a walk-in. It's a split level, but on the bottom level, you can walk in from the basement. So essentially, he just put a door down there, and he lives right off of Highway 70. And so people that are driving across the United States that would rather stay in a house and have their own bedroom and a little kitchenette versus paying $150 for a hotel, book his place. And the great thing about like his situation is most of those people get in at midnight and they're out by 6 o'clock in the morning. He never sees them. He never hears them. They sleep there. They take a shower. They jump in their car and they keep driving.
Awesome. Yeah, remember, everybody, these strategies might not be for you, but I would not just throw them away because they sound complicated or because they sound hard. They're not hard. They're very, very simple. They're very easy. Yes, they might require sacrifice, but you can do it. If you want to start building wealth through real estate, the first deal is so important. Get that first deal, and then you'll get second, third, fifth, 100th, and then you get financial freedom. So go out there, get your first deal, and use one of these strategies maybe. Let me know if you do in the comments.
Love it.
Anything you want to close with?
I think everybody should get into real estate. There's a lot of money in that.
Get into real estate. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and subscribe for more.